5 crazy things that will happen once the NBA resumes. The NBA is coming back on July 31st, and there are plenty of crazy scenarios that can take place when the NBA resumes. Two-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant could potentially make his return to action just in time for the playoffs, while fans will keep an eye on LeBron James to see if he can win another championship, after comparisons to Michael Jordan took over the pandemic once Michael Jordan's documentary came out. Keep watching to see the 5 crazy things that will happen once the NBA resumes. Players getting the virus. Once the NBA resumes, a player is more than likely going to have coronavirus. It's inevitable. We've seen the UFC have a coronavirus case, a couple soccer leagues with coronavirus spreading, and baseball leagues watching the spread of the virus come around. None of these leagues quit and canceled. They continued, and found a way to isolate the ones who had the virus and continued to play. In early May, Adrian Wojnarowski reported that the NBA Players Association started to poll players on their thoughts to resume the 2019-2020 season. There were just questions with a yes or no answer, and nothing open-ended. They wanted quick answers to understand where every player's head was at through the process. Apparently, Wojnarowski tweeted that some teams received the question as a part of a group text that included the entire roster. One rep asked the team's players, "Do you want to try and play this season? Yes or no?" Another rep worded to a different group, "Do you want the season to start again?" Some players shared to Twitter that they wanted to continue the season, which included Jared Dudley of the Lakers and Ja Morant of the Grizzlies, notably cementing themselves in the yes column. While Morant agreed that he wanted to return, Dudley went more in depth on what would be necessary when returning. He tweeted, "Safety obviously first. Nowhere will be as safe as the NBA compound site, they determined, but I don't think players know what the effects of not playing does to next year. This is bigger than, my team isn't in the playoffs, so who cares? No playoffs, no TV money, new CBA next year." According to Chris Haynes, the NBA had a private conference call between NBA stars that included Chris Paul, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, and Russell Westbrook. The players formed a united front to resume the 2019-2020 season, said Haynes. Without playing, it would affect so much for years to come. At first, the commissioner Adam Silver believed that the season wouldn't be played until there was a COVID-19 vaccination. But Silver quickly figured out that there is a financial risk of canceling the season, and that wouldn't be the best solution. The NBA will have plenty of testing and other guidelines to make sure everyone is safe. A player might get the virus while playing, but they'll quickly have to isolate away, and the NBA has guidelines in place. Lakers don't make the finals. After the documentary of Michael Jordan and all the comparisons between LeBron and Jordan, could you imagine if James didn't make the finals with the Lakers once the season resumes? This would be one crazy scenario. Now that the NBA is going to be resuming, the Lakers are the favorite to win it all according to Vegas. James was crushed during the layoff period, as fans around the world alluded to Jordan's championships as the reason why Jordan's better. The Lakers hold the best odds to win the NBA Finals, currently at plus 200. Of course, this can change, but that would mean that a $100 bet would earn $200 if the Lakers won the finals. Before the season was stopped, the Lakers led the Western Conference with a 49-14 record and 5.5 games over the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers' current magic number to clinch the number 1 seed will likely be 3 or 4 once play resumes. However, all games will be played at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Therefore, even with the 1 seed, home court advantage isn't a factor. Still, the 1 seed will help moving forward in trying to make the finals. The Lakers will have a first-round matchup with either the Memphis Grizzlies, Portland Trailblazers, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, or Phoenix Suns. None of these teams have a winning record currently, and the Lakers are 17-2 against these teams. This season, the Lakers are 4-0 versus New Orleans, 3-0 versus San Antonio and Phoenix, 2-0 versus Sacramento, 3-1 versus Memphis, and 2-1 against Portland. Would Portland be that team to upset the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs? Once the NBA announces return, Lakers in 4 was already trending on Twitter. If they're able to get past the first round, they'll still need to play additional series against other premier teams, like the Los Angeles Clippers, Houston Rockets, and Denver Nuggets in the West. In the Eastern Conference, top teams include the Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics, and Philadelphia 76ers. Sleeper teams for the finals would likely be the Dallas Mavericks, Utah Jazz, and Oklahoma City Thunder. One of these teams will likely be the Lakers' next opponent. Luka Doncic and the Mavericks beating the Lakers in the second round would be interesting, right? The return of Kevin Durant. With the NBA scheduled to come back on July 31st, many people are questioning if Kevin Durant would return to the Nets to play in the playoffs alongside Kyrie Irving. As you probably know, Durant hasn't played a game since rupturing his Achilles in Game 5 of the NBA Finals last year. It would be unfathomable if he was able to play in another Finals series this season. Since making the move from the Warriors to the Nets, Durant has only played summer scrimmages with his teammates. Brooklyn's general manager Bobby Marks called Durant's return a $110 million question, but Marks didn't say that Durant wasn't going to play. He didn't say he would either. Adam Silver did an interview with Turner Sports on Inside the NBA and spoke with Charles Barkley, saying that he didn't think it was unfair that players who sustained season-ending injuries came back when the season resumed. "We're gonna allow it," Silver said, "and I'd only say, Charles, that this has been the back and forth with our teams. There's so much here that's not fair, and we're choosing among multiple bad alternatives given the coronavirus pandemic that we're dealing with. I think ultimately, to the extent a team has a healthy roster and those players are able to come back, they are eligible to play." Kevin Durant, who already had the coronavirus in April, said last October on ESPN's First Take that he didn't expect to play during the 2019-2020 season. He also didn't expect 2020 to shape like this. Durant wasn't going to travel with the Nets for their March 12th game against the Warriors. Then nobody did because the league was shut down on March 11th. Now, he might be traveling to Orlando, Florida with the Nets. The Nets and 21 other teams will travel to Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. They'll play 8 more regular season games to make sure the seeding is accurate. Brooklyn will start the resumption in 7th place in the Eastern Conference, but if they fall to 8th or 9th, they'll have to play a play-in series. Anytime you can add a 2-time Finals MVP to your lineup, things are looking good for you. If the Nets had a healthy lineup for the postseason, Durant returning could change the entire complexion of the league. The Nets would be a potential NBA Finals contender instantly, coming from a team who is seeded somewhere between 7 and 9. Our dreams might not come true though. Rich Kleiman, who is Durant's agent, doesn't believe Durant is returning. However, Kleiman said that in March. After 3 months and 4 more months of recovery, things can change. Durant's return in the NBA would be insane. Fans will attend the NBA Finals. Since the protests in America, we've all seemed to have forgotten about the coronavirus. We've seen plenty of large gatherings between protesters, and even though most are wearing masks, the coronavirus will likely spread again. But imagine if it doesn't spread faster. Imagine just a slight increase in coronavirus cases. Then we'd all realize that large gatherings are okay, and things will be okay. If that were the case, what if fans were allowed to the NBA playoffs in September or October? Would we have an NBA Finals game in Orlando with fans to decide an NBA champion? That's the craziest thing ever, but why not be optimistic? The NBA owners voted to resume the league's regular season after it's been on hold since March due to COVID-19. Playoffs will begin in August. The NBA players endorsed the plan, and the NBA is officially back. This was a setup, however. They strictly said that no fans would attend any of the games. The NBA made an extensive regime when it came down to testing and monitoring players. The NBA needed to figure out where players and coaches would eat and sleep, and all that jazz. In the press release on the owners agreeing to return, the NBA said that they were still finalizing health and safety protocols. The deal in place with the worldwide of sports clearly has a lot of upside for both parties. On Disney's end, it would help with programming, as ESPN and ABC are lacking sports currently. By also playing, the NBA would be able to help with packing hotels and giving weeks of TV promotion for Disney's theme parks. While the COVID-19 pandemic presents formidable challenges, we are hopeful of finishing the season in a safe and responsible manner, based on strict protocols now being finalized with public health officials and medical experts, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in his press release. We also recognize that as we prepare to resume play, our society is reeling from recent tragedies of racial violence and injustice, and we will continue to work closely with our teams and players to use our collective resources and influence to address these issues in very real and concrete ways. According to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, sources told him that the Portland Trail Blazers were the only team to vote against the restart plan. Instead, the franchise believed that there were more competitive and innovative formats on the table, including those that addressed the 2020 NBA draft lottery odds based on regular season game results in Orlando, he tweeted. The playoffs, which usually finishes up on ABC in June, will now extend to October 12th, which is the date of Game 7 of the finals, if both finals teams were to reach a Game 7. The NBA has already set August 25th to be the draft lottery, and October 15th to be the NBA draft. Then, the 2020-2021 season would likely begin in December, due to the delay of this season. Remember, over 10 players have tested positive with the virus. All players are now feeling great and have recovered. The NBA actually started the cancellation of the entire world when Rudy Gobert tested positive for the virus. Could they be the first league to bring back fans to an important event since they were the first to close down? Other leagues in the US have have already opened, and leagues overseas have been open for quite some time now. Warner Media's TNT and Disney's ESPN and ABC are just 2/3 through with their long-term NBA rights deals, worth $24 billion. In Taiwan, baseball fans are already back in the seats, and those sitting down don't even have to wear a mask. In other leagues, fans are going to start returning soon in the stands. It comes down to the curve of the coronavirus cases. If it doesn't spread after these protests and summer holidays, fans can be welcomed back a lot sooner than some would suggest right now. Having 25 to 50% capacity in the NBA Finals is way better than having no capacity. Will this scenario happen? It's likely we're just dreaming, but it would be a crazy scenario. Just imagine Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving making it to the finals to play against LeBron James in a Nets-Lakers NBA Finals. Durant has given James hell in the NBA Finals, while Kyrie left James because he wanted to have his own leadership role. The Orlando Magic's advantage. Nikola Vucevic and the Orlando Magic are looking to make it to the NBA Finals. Now, they're playing in a familiar city, Orlando. I can say that for all my teammates, we were all very excited, Vucevic said. Once we heard the news, we were all texting in a group chat about it and talked about it. By keeping in touch, we all wanted to come back and finish the season, so we're all very excited about it. Now that we know how much time we have before it starts, we're ready to put in the work. The Magic had the third easiest schedule remaining, and were set to play 10 of their final 17 games at home. Magic's head coach Steve Clifford believes the playoffs begin July 31st for his team. "We were starting to play pretty well," he said Tuesday during a telephone interview with the Sentinel. "The regular season is about one thing, and that's qualifying for the playoffs, and our team had basically done that again, in my opinion. And that part, I think we should all feel good about." Magic President of Basketball Operations Jeff Weltman said the same. "We are a playoff team. We have earned the right to be a playoff team, and we look forward to participating in the playoffs in whatever format the league deems most equitable," Weltman said in a statement. "We are ready to go. Our guys have worked very hard during this hiatus. The majority of our guys have remained in Orlando. They've stayed attached to their programs, to the coaching staff, and attached to each other. We're optimistic that when the time comes to return to work, that they've put a good foundation in place to build upon." Will the Magic feel comfortable and perform like they're at home, and then go on a run in the NBA playoffs? The Magic making it to the second or third round could be chaos in the NBA. There's a chance.